Dicky Needles.
Dicky Needles, whatever. Z trademarked here. It's not a TM. That's the first intro I've ever done. That feels really weird. Anyway, in this Tarkov video, we're answering the #1 most asked question in all of Twitch chat. How do I get better at Tarkov? And more specifically, how do I get better at Tarkov after 5 or 6 wipes, after I've been in the game a long time? And I'm going to answer all of these questions, whether you're new, a veteran, have 5,000 hours in the game, or you're Pestily. I'll tell Pestily how to get better. And how does someone worse than Pestily tell Pestily how to get better? And it's the same answer for everyone. And Pestily is actually the one that gives the greatest advice on this, because he actually knows how to get better, even though I could still tell him. And that is, go to your hideout, invent a time machine, go back to 2016, and while you're at it, invest in Bitcoin, and start playing the Tarkov when it first ever got announced in the closed alpha. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's not the most practical way to get better at Tarkov, but you know, if you could do that, please do all of those things and tell me. Call me when you do, and I'll go back and invest in Bitcoin. All jokes aside, in all seriousness, how do we get better at Escape from Tarkov? So the first thing you got to do is you have to only compare yourself to yourself. Okay, I understand this is easier or harder to do than like in practice, because it's very easy to see like Clean, Pestily, Willers, Landmark, and be like, that's the pedestal, that's what I'm going to compare myself to. And that mindset is actually holding you back. Only compare yourself to yourself. Like, only look and see how much you improved from last wipe, the wipe before, last week, and understand that's the only way you can judge yourself on if you're getting better at Tarkov. Survival rate, kills, whatever, it's not necessarily a good indicator as if you're improving as a player, because different play styles indicate different things. If you're going to run around in PvP a lot, you're probably going to die more than someone who plays slower and uses a bolt action sniper all the time and snipes scavs a lot. It's just the nature of Tarkov in some people's playstyles. So stats don't necessarily mean as much as you think they do, and compare yourselves only to yourself from the past. That's probably my #1 tip for you to do. Now, if you're new to the game, the best advice I can do is actually you just got to keep playing the game. Tarkov is a hard game. You got to put a bunch of hours into it in order to get really good with it. People that you're watching on Twitch have 6,000 to 10,000 hours on the game. They should be better than you, okay? Don't compare yourself to them. Just play the game, and over time, you will become better naturally. Even myself, and I believe I'm only like 1,500 hours into Tarkov in a year and a half. I never thought I'd be good at Tarkov. Never in a million years did I think I'd be good at Tarkov, and now I feel like I'm a pretty competent player. So I think that's a pretty good indicator of just playing the game. It helps you develop those skills. Another thing too is, like, this kind of ties into gear fear, but realizing everyone dies in Tarkov, and don't sweat a death every single time it happens, because you know what, everyone's going to die. You can't help it. You're not going to survive every raid. It's just the nature of Tarkov. There's too many bugs in the game. There's too many desyncs. There's too many uncontrollable things for you to not die. There are sound bugs where you might not hear an audio cue, which means like you don't know the nades coming and you blow up. There's no way that you could have played that situation better, except not going into raid, and that's the case, well, then you're not playing the game. So just keep that in mind. Everyone dies. Now, other than those main things and those three big tips, those apply to everyone and a lot of newer players. These are some of the things that you can do if you've been playing for a lot of wipes. You're 5,000 hours in and you don't think you can get better at Tarkov, or you just want to take the time and actually improve on your own skills and actually commit to being like, I want to be the best Escape from Tarkov player I can possibly. Now, my number one tip for this is actually, if you have the capability, go back and watch your own film or your own raids. Go back and review your raids. Go through the situations where you screwed up. Identify the mistakes. Think critically of yourself, but not harsh of yourself, and understand, hey, I wide peeked this angle while my teammate was throwing a grenade. And then I, did something wrong and I over peaked and it got me killed because my teammate didn't have my cover fire or whatever. Or like, you should have pushed back and retreated and like got a different angle instead of re-peeking the same guy at the end of the hallway. Like, sometimes it's better to reposition rather than like stay and hold the same angle. Understand when you have the high grounds or the low ground, or you're in a good spot or you're in a bad spot. Go back and review your film and discover these things, and try not to make those mistakes again, and just keep those in the front of your mind. Even writing down some of the mistakes that if you identified that you do often, writing those down so you have them readily available. Put them on the bottom of your monitor and like, hey, look, you do these things, so that every time you get into raid, you can look at it and be like, hey, I make this mistake a lot. Maybe this time I won't do this. Like take notes on yourself. Like, I'm serious. Treat it like it's like a classroom or a job or like anything else. I watched film a ton of times when I was playing football, and I would take notes on all of my previous mistakes, and then I stopped making them. Literally treat it like that. Write down, take notes on yourself. It's like, it'll do more benefit than you think. Like, honestly, if you have the ability to rewatch your film, do it. It'll make you a better player in the long run. And my other biggest tip, and this is like, not everyone's gonna like this, and I know that, but I'm gonna say, like, go against the meta. Do things that you're not comfortable with. Get out of your comfort zone. Do those things that get your adrenaline pumping, so that when you're in that situation later down the line, when Tarkov doesn't have wipes, or you're in a really tough situation and you have that last item for Kappa, you're more confident in those situations because you've been in it before. Do those types of things and go against the meta so you can understand the game better. And by this, I mean, like, I understand the vector. It's a hot thing right now. Everyone loves the vector. It used to be the Val, and then it was the FAL, and then it was the HK. Doesn't matter what it is. Use different play styles. Try different things. Like, okay, today I'm only going to play on the left side of the clock. I don't care what time it is. If it's dark, I'm going in at night. If it's the middle of the rain, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go into it. If you don't like labs, play some labs. If you don't like storming resort, go storm resort. Get rid of the gear fear. Just forget it. Understand that this game wipes anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're going to lose it at the end of the day, regardless if you play the game or not, or if it's in someone else's stash, or if you have 6,000 PMC kills with an HK. Like, it doesn't matter. It's all going to get wiped again one day. So when you have the opportunity, after you've enjoyed the game, after you got your cap or whatever, when the wipes getting a little stale, take that time to get better at Tarkov, because you know there's always going to be another wipe. And until Nikita tells us otherwise, there's always going to be this opportunity where you have, for the most part, for your veteran players who this is more catered to, you're going to have your 100 mils in your stash. Because I last wipe, I didn't even play the last 6-7 weeks of it, it felt like, and I was still at 300 million. You have the money to burn. So, like, it shouldn't be an issue. Don't worry about dying. No one cares what your KD is. I'm sorry if that hurts people's egos or whatever, but like, realistically, like, who cares if you survive 67 compared to 69 giggity? That's for you, clean. Percent of your raids. So, like, keep that in mind. Do things that you wouldn't normally do. If you hate shotguns, start running some shotguns. Maybe not always wear an Alton and level 6 armor. Maybe drop it down to level 4 and level 3 helmet or whatever. play with contacts. If you always have like a helmet or like a face shield helmet on, like play with some ears. Use the bolt action snipers. Understand like where you have to play with different ranges if you're using different type of guns. Use the Ash 12. That thing's like super fun to use, even though it's not the best thing in the world. Like I love using a bolt action sniper. I find it super fun. I have to play a different style. I have to play really slow and methodical. Make sure I keep distance, because if I'm within 25 yards of anyone or meters of anyone and they have a fully automatic weapon, I'm basically dead. So like, slow down. Play a different play style. If you W key everything, I'm not saying rat it up, but I'm saying slow it down, creep walk around the map. You'll learn a lot about like the movement of players and like find angles that you wouldn't know. Do all sorts of things. Change as many things as you can as possible, because I understand the vector is like super good. You headshot everything from any range basically, and you get lots of kills and you feel really good. But I'm telling you, if you play with a shotgun and you learn the ranges of the shotgun, and you learn about the movements, and you learn about the area and the environments you're in, you can outplay people with movement and basically get yourself in any range that you want to, compared to a laser beam that as soon as I see him, if my aim's good enough, I'll just win the gunfight. Like, the outplay and maneuverability in Tarkov is phenomenal aspect to learn. If you don't know where stashes are, learn stashes, learn the maps inside and out. Try playing the map without a map up on your second monitor. Like, do anything that gets you out of your comfort zone that you're not familiar with. And if you are familiar with every aspect of Tarkov, you can tell me where every single stash is. You do the night runs. You're good on every single gun. Great. Okay. Use some crappy gear. Okay? Like, I'm serious. Like, go stock AKMs or like AKSs. I'm not saying necessarily use bad ammo, because ammo is the most important thing in Tarkov. But like, if you're going to run HK, run like the stock HK, or like do randomizers, do like basically, or like do a scav run and then just put that kit on your PMC and then go run with that. Like, run some low tier gear that forces you to play differently and to adapt to your environment. Or like, I don't care what this raid is, I'm going to reserve and I have to extract train. Or like, self-imposed challenges, I have to go D2. If you get injured and blacked all of your limbs, take that opportunity. Instead of like, hey, I'm good, I'm gonna get out, realize, hey, I already have the money, who cares? Go push that next gunfight. When you're weak or whatever, go push the gunfight. Go push the guy that just hit you because he's not expecting it. If you're on one limb, hit a painkiller and go run down the last scav boss instead of being content with what you have. Push yourself to be in situations that you aren't normally in, or that you wouldn't normally be comfortable like being in. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's a big, like, I understand that's like a motivational quote. I'm here motivating you to be better at Tarkov, and I'm a motivational speaker. That's what I feel like up here. I'm like ET up here trying to motivate you to get better at life. That's what it feels like. But seriously, do those types of things. I promise you, at the end of the day, you'll become a better Tarkov player. Now, if I need to do a more in-depth motivational speech, or if, you know, I am completely off basis, you can let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, because it helps me a great deal. And if you like anyone else's comments, please, or comments, videos, please like and subscribe to their content too, because they really appreciate it, and it helps you out, or helps them out. And I mean, it might help you out. Helps people out more than you think. So anyway, I appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video, but the most important thing you can do is have a great day.